Hello everyone, welcome to the physics class. Hope you all are fine over there. Children, in the previous session we had discussed every concepts about resistive AC circuit. We discussed the phasor diagram, graphical representation of AC circuits. Also we discussed the average power associated with one cycle of AC circuit. Today we are going to discuss the different types of AC circuits, that is inductive and capacitive AC circuit. All those concepts, that is graphical representation, phasor diagrams, average power associated with one cycle, all those things we are going to discuss related with capacitive and inductive AC circuits. So let's get started with today's session, my dear children. Let's continue with our lesson, chapter 7, alternating current. So today, first we are going to discuss about inductive AC circuit. What type of circuit is inductive AC circuit? In inductive AC circuit, the only circuit element which is present is inductor. The source of voltage is alternating and is represented by V equal to Vm sin omega t. So on the screen you can see the inductive AC circuit. So V is the voltage source, and what type of voltage is provided to the circuit or to the inductor? AC voltage source. Okay, so V is actually Vm sin omega t, and the only circuit element present is the coil with or inductor with inductance L. Okay, no, when alternating voltage is applied to the inductor, the magnetic flux associated with the inductor will change, which induces an EMF in this inductor, and that EMF is the self-induced EMF. And due to that EMF, a current starts to flow through this inductor. That will be the induced current. So this induced EMF always opposes the voltage source V. Okay, because this induced EMF always tries to oppose its cause, and its cause is the applied voltage V. The voltage source V is always equal and opposite to the induced EMF E. Okay. So we can write V plus induced EMF E is equal to 0. So this relation is obtained from this particular circuit. Next step is to find out an expression for the current in the inductive AC circuit. We already know the expression for the voltage in the inductive AC circuit, and what is the expression for that voltage? That is V sin omega t, Vm sin omega t, right? So next step is to find out the expression for current in an inductive AC circuit, and we got this relation from the circuit V plus self-induced EMF is equal to 0, where V is Vm sin omega t, the source voltage, and E is the self-induced EMF. And in the previous chapter, that is electromagnetic induction, you had studied the expression for self-induced EMF. What is that? Self-induced EMF E is equal to minus L into di by dt. So substitute that expression in this equation. So you will get V minus L into di by dt equal to 0. And for V, substitute its expression. V is Vm sin omega t minus L into di by dt equal to 0, and just rearrange this expression. That means just keep di on LHS part and bring all the terms to RHS part. So you will get Vm sin omega t into dt divided by L. Okay, now we got di equal to an expression. So by integrating di, you will get the expression for total current I in the circuit. So integral 0 to I di is equal to integral Vm sin omega t dt by L. Again, Vm and L are constants, so we can take it outside the integral sign. So you will get Vm divided by L into integral sin omega t dt. Okay, so here when you integrate di, you will get I is equal to Vm by L. Okay, when you integrate di, you will get I. So on the RHS part, we have I equal to Vm divided by L. Then integrate sin omega t dt. So what is the integral of sin omega t? Integral of sin omega t is minus cos omega t by omega. Again, this omega is constant, so bring this omega outside the bracket. So you will get minus Vm by omega L into cos omega t. Okay, and this expression can be rewritten as I equal to minus Im cos omega t, where Im is equal to Vm by omega L. Okay, here you can see Im is equal to Vm by omega L, and Im is nothing but the peak value of current. Okay, and in an inductive circuit, the peak value of current Im is equal to Vm by omega L. And again, we need to find out the phase relationship between voltage and current in all the AC circuits. So if we want to find out the phase relationship between any two quantities, both the quantities must be in terms of same trigonometric function, either cos or sine. So here voltage is expressed in terms of sin omega t. Voltage is V equal to Vm sin omega t. We will always express voltage like this. Then we got the expression for current now as current I is equal to minus Im cos omega t. Just compare both the expression. Here the trigonometric function is sine, here the trigonometric function is cos. So will you be able to compare between these two quantities? No, it's not possible. So you need to convert this expression in terms of sine. You need to express the inductive AC current in terms of sin omega t. And you had already studied one expression in your trigonometry. One relation is there, that is sin omega t minus pi by 2 is equal to sin omega t minus pi by 2 equal to minus cos omega t, isn't it? So here you have minus cos omega t. So instead of this minus cos omega t, you can substitute sin omega t minus pi by 2. So you will get current I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. So that is the expression. Current I is equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, now you can easily compare the expression. Now you can easily compare the voltage and the current in an inductive AC circuit. What is the expression for current? Current is I equal to Im sin omega t minus pi by 2, and voltage is just V equal to Vm sin omega t. So from the expression, just look at the phase. Here the phase of sine is just omega t. Here the phase of sine is omega t minus pi by 2. So current is lagging behind the voltage by a phase angle of pi by 2. Okay, so the phase of voltage is omega t, but the phase of current I is omega t minus pi by 2. Omega t minus, that means voltage is leading, current is lagging behind the voltage. So voltage goes first, that is voltage becomes maximum first. Current becomes maximum after a phase angle of pi by 2. Again, voltage becomes 0 first and current becomes 0 only after a phase difference of pi by 2. So voltage always leads the current by a phase angle of pi by 2. That is the phase relationship between voltage and current in the case of inductive AC circuit. But in the case of resistive AC circuit, the situation was entirely different. The current and voltage were in same phase, isn't it? Do you remember the resistive AC circuit? There the current and voltage are in same phase. Both start together, becomes maximum together, reaches 0 together, and also becomes maximum in the reverse or negative direction together. Okay, but here in the inductive AC circuit, voltage leads and current lags behind the voltage by a phase angle of pi by 2. It's very important. You must always remember this concept. Now, so what is the conclusion? Current and voltage are not in phase with each other. They are out of phase by pi by 2. And we need to discuss about a new term, that is inductive reactance. Reactance means nothing, resistance. Okay, so what is the resistance in an inductive AC circuit? So let's discuss that. Here in the previous slides we had discussed the current amplitude Im is Vm by omega L. In an inductive circuit, omega L acts as resistance. How? You know, by Ohm's law, current I is equal to V by R, right? And in the inductive AC circuit, current Im is equal to Vm by omega L. So in the case of voltage, when you compare both these expressions, in the case of voltage we have Vm, and in the case of resistance we have omega L. So this omega L plays the role of resistance in an inductive AC circuit. And the resistance in an inductive AC circuit is known as inductive reactance. Okay, so what is inductive reactance? The resistance of inductive circuit is known as inductive reactance. And what is the expression for that inductive reactance? Expression for that inductive reactance is omega into L. Okay, so inductive reactance is the resistance associated with a pure inductive AC circuit. And usually resistance is denoted by R, but inductive reactance is denoted by a term that is XL. So inductive reactance is denoted by XL, and XL is equal to omega L. What is the unit of this inductive reactance? So inductive reactance plays the role of resistance itself. The unit of resistance is ohm. So the unit of inductive reactance is also ohm. SI unit is ohm. And it limits the current flowing through an inductive circuit. That you know. Resistance always obstructs the flow of current through any circuit. So inductive reactance limits the flow of current through an inductive circuit. And what is the expression for inductive reactance? Expression is XL equal to omega L. That is, inductive reactance XL is directly proportional to omega, and it is also directly proportional to the self-inductance L. So what are the factors affecting inductive reactance? Omega and self-inductance L. Okay, now just look at the graphical representation of voltage and current for an inductive AC circuit. And from the expressions of voltage and current, it was clear that current lags behind voltage. So voltage will always lead the current. Okay, so current will reach its maximum value only after pi by 2. So in the graph it is very clear. See, this graph represents the graph of voltage, and this dotted lines represents the graph of current. So here voltage becomes 0 first, then voltage reaches its maximum value here, but at this point current has not yet reached its maximum value. Current has reached its maximum value only at this point. That means after a phase difference of pi by 2. So this point is pi, this point is pi, so this point will be pi by 2. Okay, so voltage has reached its maximum value at pi by 2, but current has reached its maximum value at pi. So what is the phase difference between pi and pi by 2? Pi minus pi by 2 is pi by 2 itself. Again, voltage becomes 0 at pi, but current becomes 0 at this point, that means at 3 pi by 2. So what is the difference between 3 pi by 2 and pi? That is again pi by 2. Okay, so like that, voltage becomes maximum, then it reaches 0, then again maximum first. Current becomes maximum minimum values only after a phase difference of pi by 2. And here also the average current over a complete cycle is 0, average voltage over a complete cycle is 0. because the current magnitude for the positive cycle and the negative cycle will be cancelled. Similarly, the voltage magnitude for the positive and negative half cycles will be cancelled. So the average current and voltage over a complete cycle will be 0. Then what about the power associated with the inductor? Here the voltage and current associated with the inductor is Vm sin omega t and current I is Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. What is average power? Average power is obtained using this expression. Average power is equal to 1 by t into integral 0 to t p dt. This p is the instantaneous power. And what is the expression for instantaneous power? Instantaneous power P equal to Vi, that is Vm sin omega t into Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. So that is written here equal to Vm Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay. So it can be rewritten as minus Vm Im sin omega t cos omega t, because we had already discussed sin omega t minus pi by 2 is minus cos omega t. So instead of sin omega t minus pi by 2, substitute minus cos omega t. And after simplifying, you will get power P equal to minus Vm Im by 2 sin 2 omega t. Okay, how? Divide this expression by 2 and multiply this expression by 2. You will get minus Vm Im by 2 sin omega t cos omega t. And what is 2 sin theta cos theta? That is sin 2 theta. So here minus Vm Im by 2 sin omega t cos omega t will be sin 2 omega t. Okay, so that is written here. That is instantaneous power expression minus Vm Im sin 2 omega t by 2. Then what is average power? Average power PL is 1 by t integral 0 to t p dt. And this p is our instantaneous power. Substitute the expression for p here. So minus sign is here. Minus sign is brought outside the integral. Then we have inside the integral we have Vm Im by 2 sin 2 omega t dt. Again Vm Im by 2 are constants. Take it outside the integral. So here you will get minus Vm Im by 2t integral 0 to t sin 2 omega t dt. So after simplifying, you will get integral 0 to t sin 2 omega t dt is 0. Okay, so after simplifying, you will get power PL is equal to 0. Therefore, average power associated with an inductive circuit over one complete cycle is also 0. But for a resistive circuit, average power was not 0. For an inductive circuit, average current is 0, average voltage is 0, average power is also 0. Okay. Now, just look at the phasor diagram of an inductive AC circuit. What is the phasor diagram? Here, this is the voltage graph for an inductive AC circuit, and this is the current graph. And again, did you notice the peaks of voltage and current? The amplitude of voltage is higher than the amplitude of current. Why? I have the expression Vm is equal to Im is equal to Vm by omega L, isn't it? That means the magnitude of the peak value of current is Vm, voltage divided by omega L. So Im is always less than Vm. That's why the magnitude or the amplitude of voltage is always higher than the amplitude of current. Okay. Now, just consider the phasor diagram. So, consider a point omega t1 in the graph and consider the voltage and current values corresponding to this omega t1. So, to find out the voltage value, just draw a line to the graph. This is the voltage value corresponding to omega t1. And to find out the current value, just draw a line to this graph, current graph. So this is the value of current corresponding to the time omega t1. Next, this is the phasor plane. So from this point, draw a line to the phasor plane, and again from this line, draw another line to the phasor plane. Then from the origin, draw a vector to voltage line, and from the origin, draw a vector to the current line. So this will be the phasor for voltage, and this will be the phasor for current. The vertical component of this voltage phasor gives the instantaneous value of the voltage, that is Vm sin omega t1. And again the vertical component of the current phasor gives the instantaneous value of current, Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. Okay, so this is the phasor diagram of current and voltage in an inductive AC circuit. Now, here what is the phase difference, or what is the angle between voltage and current phasor? This is the voltage phasor, this is the current phasor, and the phase angle between them is pi by 2. That means you should represent the voltage and current phasor as mutually perpendicular to each other. Angle between these two phasors or vectors must be pi by 2. This angle must be pi by 2. You must represent voltage and current phasors on the phasor diagram such that they are mutually perpendicular. Okay. Now these two phasors, or the voltage phasor will rotate by an angle of, is capable to rotate by an angle of omega t1. Okay, so this is the phasor diagram for an inductive AC circuit.